Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and quick review of the Moudio M100. This is a wireless stereo Bluetooth headset that has the unique functionality of also being an activity tracker. It features calorie tracking, fitness monitoring in terms of number of steps you've taken, as well as some basic patterning in your exercises. So it's definitely a unique concept that we haven't seen before integrated into a Bluetooth headset. It sells on Amazon for only $32 with free shipping for Prime members. So it's also pretty inexpensive, and for something that's quite innovative and new, I think this is a just price to pay. In this review, we'll explore the various aspects of these headphones and whether or not you should pick one up if you are someone who likes exercising and wants something that combines an all-in-one design. Otherwise, it uses Bluetooth 4.0 and not 4.1. That's something to quickly note. It is pretty small. It is behind the ear style, and the rechargeable lithium-ion battery lasts up to 20 hours of talking time or 16 hours of playing back music. It does have a microphone so you can answer calls with it when connected to an iOS or an Android smartphone. And fully charging these Bluetooth headsets, this headset will take about 2 hours to complete, so it's also pretty quick. It does have a pretty accurate step tracker despite being on your head as opposed to be on your wrist, which I found to be quite interesting. So the packaging here looks pretty professional. You have some basic info including a QR code in the back for you to scan and to download the application for your phone for the fitness tracking aspect. It is pretty soft and includes a carrying case in the box in addition to a memory foam padding with the actual cushions for your ears. The M100 comes in multiple colors, including a black and red version. There's also this lime green version, which I thought was pretty cool, and decided to pick one up. As you can see, there's a logo there that says "Feel the Music, Enter the Fitness," so it's pretty interesting. Definitely something that we have not seen before. Lifting this up, we have access to the actual headphones themselves. We'll take a closer look at the design and the features in a moment there. Lifting this up, we have access to a quick user guide that is fully documented in a nice amount of detail. It's also color-coded to tell you how to set things up on your phone, so it's pretty intuitive. And there's also access to a micro USB cable for charging, as well as the aforementioned cloth, which you can use to protect your investment when traveling around. So taking a quick look at these headphones, you can say that they are pretty small and lightweight. Construction quality is made entirely out of plastic, which is a little bit disappointing, even though they are extremely easy to tote around with you. They're flexible, they're lightweight, they're small, so you won't really notice them once you actually wear them and move around. It's not going to put too much pressure on your head, which is good. You can see that we have access on the bottom here to a microphone for answering calls. We have the Moudio logo on the center here, and the rings also light up and act as the notification. So when you're pairing, it's going to flash, and when you're on, it's just going to kind of periodically flash blue as well. The center here allows you to reject or answer a phone call when you are exercising. The keys are oversized, so they are extremely easy to press, and they are tactile, responsive, and risen above the surface. There's also access to skip track controls for your music, as well as volume controls, and overall this is something that gets pretty easy to navigate with once you use it for a bit of time. There also is a flap covering the micro USB cable port for charging, and that seals up to provide some water resistance. This is not fully waterproof, but you can use it out in some basic rain and it shouldn't be damaged. It also will be sweat resistant as well. So on the other side, we have access to the actual cushions. Again, they are very, very soft. It kind of reminds me of some Bose headphones I've used and tested. They seal off quite a bit of sound as well once you place them over your ears, despite not being very large in terms of the size. They are quite comfortable and cushiony as well. The actual headband part basically fits on the back of your head, and it is made out of this very flexible and malleable plastic, and you can see how the sides can be adjusted in terms of the angle to get a proper fit. This goes over your ears, and overall I think that the design is pretty unique as well as eye-catching. Some other tidbits to quickly point out: the app, which is designed for both iOS and Android phones, works pretty well. I'm going to show you that right now. The application, which can be searched up through the Google Play Store, will pop up after you install it, and you have to go through the settings inclusive of entering your height, your weight for more accurate measurements, as well as your gender. You can set a profile name as well as add a quick thumbnail picture. It will also ask for an email for you to log in and to save. A confirmation email will be sent to the address that you put in. Afterwards, you can see that the application itself is pretty good. The actual visual experience is decent, even though there is a slight amount of lag for some reason between the different pages, which was something that I didn't expect. considering that it's not there when I try other fitness tracking applications on the same handset. So maybe that's something with the app optimization. Anyways, right now we're not connected, but once you are, you have the ability to track how much steps you've taken. Up here, you can change different modes. You can add different timers for your pacing. Running freely, you can also change between this and other settings, such as match training. So if you want to run a certain distance on a certain time, it will show that. Time training, your weight training, that allows you to enter your own data for that. And sliding back here, you have access to your statistics, like the calories that you've burned in a day, the distance that you've moved. It's going to do a quick estimation based on the steps that you've taken. It actually does a surprisingly good job of that. You can change the units as well between calories for distance, kilometers. Statistics includes historical data as well that you can go through with a calendar. Records include the most that you've taken, the fastest speed that you've reached, the longest time you've run, the challenge, marathon challenge that you've gone through. So again, longest time that you've run under a certain X amount of time. And also going back to settings allows you to change your profile information and also search for updates once they pop up, modify your password, so on and so forth. Tapping on pair connects it pretty easily onto the device. So overall, the app is nicely designed, even though it doesn't have more fancy features on here, like the ability to see what path you took, or maybe like the ability for you to track your sleep, your heart rate. Those things aren't here, but it does have a pretty good basic user interface set up. So taking a quick look at these headphones again, you can see that the pairing is red and blue. Once you're done, you can tap on the center key, the call key, which also doubles up as the power key. It's pretty responsive and easy to use. In terms of specifications, they do have a 30mm driver to them, and frequency response range is 20 to 22 kHz. And again, they are pretty good in terms of battery life as well, up to 20 hours of playtime, which is on the longer side of the spectrum, especially for a sports pair of headphones. And that was about accurate as far as testing goes. We got about 18 to 19 hours of usage before we need to recharge them, which again takes very little time to complete. The microphones on here do a pretty good job of picking up sound. They are not noise canceling in the sense that there aren't multiple microphones positioned along the sides. So if you're in a noisier environment, such as in a marketplace, it's not going to be the best for using as a speakerphone for answering calls. Not as good as a dedicated Bluetooth earpiece, but it does the job as well if you need that function on board. In terms of audio quality, we were actually pleasantly surprised. For most sports headphones, we thought we expect basically just the volume to be pretty loud for the audio quality to be acceptable, but this one actually has a nice clarity and balance to it, so you can really hear the intricate parts of a performance or a song. So if you are listening to classical music, you'll hear the various instrumentals in minute detail, as well as the highs and the lows. It doesn't have the most bass in the world if you are someone who loves the thump when listening to maybe some soundtracks or even a movie, but it does the job in terms of day-to-day music playback for pop music and most genres of music. So overall, a very good value for the money for something that's sub $35. As we've discussed with the application, the fitness tracking part isn't the best in terms of the best technical fitness tracker, just because it doesn't have that many features on board. There's no heart rate sensor, so on and so forth, but it is pretty accurate as far as calorie burning and the pedometer functionality, which is keeping track of how many steps you've taken. The app is nicely designed, although some parts are in Chinese, and the actual headphones themselves are stylish. Their lightweight, performance, and audio quality is good, and so for something that's only, again, under $35, I think that this is a nice balance between that design and something that's quite innovative as well as functional. So definitely check it out. So for more information about these headphones, be sure to check out our full written review. This has been our video. Thanks for watching your OS reviews. This is the Moudio M100 Wireless Smart Sports.